Biggest name to enter the transfer portal for Florida State has just announced his intention. Joshua Farmer intends to enter the transfer portal according to his own Twitter, alongside the lead writer, senior writer of Warchant.com, Corey Clark. My name is Tom Lang. Corey, it's just a simple thing, social media, but it can mean a lot. And there it is. Very simply put, Joshua Farmer tweets out, "I've decided to enter the transfer portal." The implications, however, are a bit larger. Your initial reaction to number 44 saying his time at FSU is over.
Yeah, I mean, that's a surprise, right? That's we've talked about it. That it's been very, very good, the portal to Florida State, but there is going to be some pain that comes with it. This is a tinge of pain. It could be a lot more than that in a year or two when we see what this kid ends up being, because he was one of the more impressive guys I thought this spring on the defense as a whole. I thought he took a big leap from where he was last year, and yeah, man, this is not like, I don't know. It's hard to know what would have precipitated this or caused this to happen. What, a week and a half after the spring game? But yeah, it's a loss. It's a loss that we're I had just written that, like, man, with Farmer and Lovett and Jackson and Fisk, man, you might have one of the best interiors in the country if Farmer was taking the jump we thought, and you still might have a very, very good one. I mean, the other three guys I mentioned are all very good, but this was the guy that you thought could really rise up, that was surrounded by all those other really good guys. I was very interested in seeing that, and that it takes a hit to the depth. It's a hit to the depth, and it's also just a hit to the program when you want to see these guys that you've recruited that have come in as high schoolers become elite players. And this is one of the, I think, very good high school players that they've signed that will probably go be elite somewhere else.
Yeah, without a doubt, since the last, I don't know, month or two, the McClendon announcement was significant because he would be in your top
Yeah.
four rotation at defensive end. This one is more impactful, I think, because of what Farmer could be. I agree with you. I thought he had an excellent spring. Daryl Jackson, his former high school teammate, was the guy that was the headliner for the first week or two of camp. But Joshua Farmer was consistently good. And to me, I thought that he would be a type of a player who, when the season came on, it was a bold prediction of mine, that he might lead the team in tackles for loss among the defensive tackles because he's going to see a lot of one-on-ones.
Yeah,
and
true.
if you give Josh Farmer a lot of one-on-ones, he's going to produce for you. So this is a big hit, but it's not as though, Corey, this is last year's situation with the defensive interior, provided, and it's a big if, but provided that the NCAA eligibility waiver comes back and it's good for Daryl Jackson, Florida State still has 5 to 6 players that could rotate in and play at a pretty high level. It's just that what we were projecting for Farmer to be this fall, maybe a breakthrough year for him, that's where it could be a loss in the now, and then certainly next year, where if he came back for 2024, Corey, Farmer would have been one of your best players on the team.
Yeah, that's where it seemed like it was heading. And again, you have 5 or 6 guys, but we kind of know what Malcolm Ray is, right? We
Yep.
kind of know what Dennis Briggs is. We don't know what Josh Farmer is. That was what was so intriguing about him and appealing about what he did this spring, is because he looked like a guy that might be an all ACC player by the time he leaves here. I think we all know that Malcolm Ray and Dennis Briggs aren't that. We didn't know that about Josh Farmer yet. He was still young, and he just took a really big leap, I thought, this spring. And so to lose him, it is, yeah, you have bodies, you have college bodies behind those big three at defensive tackle, but you don't have potential stars, I don't think. At least guys that I think can contribute. Maybe Tafasi's a guy that's going to be really good a year or two from now, but he's probably not going to be playing against LSU. Josh Farmer would have played against LSU, probably 35 reps, and now he's going to be somewhere else.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think Tafasi, it's just really good news for his stock. If you want to view each of these players as individual brands, Tafasi got good news today with Josh Farmer entering the portal. But there's two different kinds of good news for Tafasi. It's, yeah, that's good for the long term. But if they're going to have a rotation, Corey, against LSU and Clemson in week 4, I don't know that a younger player is going to get more than maybe 10 or 12 snaps, whereas Farmer would have gotten dozens of snaps in this situation. All right. So projecting now forward, Corey, does this change your opinion of Florida State's defense, or is it just more like a strike against them rather than a game changer as you look at this as a whole, the group of 11 on the field?
I don't think it changes what I think. I still think they're going to have an elite defensive line, provided health. They stay relatively healthy. I mean, you're still talking about a starting front four of Jared Verse, I don't know, Fabian Lovett, Darrell Jackson and Patrick Payton with Braden Fisk and Gilbert Edmond as backups. I mean, that's still better than 99% of the teams in the country, probably. But you don't go through seasons without injuries.
Yep.
And it is good to have guys that are capable backups that are waiting to shine and hungry. And I just don't know again if you lose Lovett or Jackson for a couple of weeks to sprained ankles or Fisk for that matter. What do you have on the interior that you feel great about? Because we all remember what it looked like last year when you lost Lovett and Cooper wasn't himself. I mean, they beat Louisville. Louisville ran through them in the middle of the line like there was nobody there. You just don't want a repeat of that. So I don't know, man. I still think you have enough bodies clearly in elite talent at the top of the depth chart that you don't have to. This isn't the number one need in the portal. But hey, man, if there's I would 24 hours ago, if you'd have said, hey, man, there's a former 4.5-star defensive tackle that's played 3 years in the SEC that's out in the portal, I'm like, no, man, you got bigger fish than that. But to fry, just to make the PETA people happy. I like to fry fish, kill animals with my analogies. But now I think if there's a big time defensive tackle or a guy that's played a lot of football, you think twice. Like you think like, okay, well, all right, we might look at that if there's not anything else that we really like. I think there's a chance that maybe you go and replace him. I don't think it's a great chance, but if there's somebody out there that is interested, you go and try and get a guy and sell him on the fact that, yeah, man, we got 3 guys we like. One guy had a bad shoulder all spring, didn't get to see him much. And the other, the other two guys are good, but you could come in here and get a lot of reps. There's a lot of reps to be had here. And I think maybe they replace this with the portal, but they've got, I guess the portal's open for another 5 days as we're recording this. So, I mean, they can replace them for 2 weeks, but I don't know if there are any defensive tackles in the portal right now that are interested in them that are also in the caliber that you would go use one of your roster spots for.
It's a good point. Yeah, this now creates at least a discussion of whether or not this is a place you want to go. It also has gone from now the Darrell Jackson talking point about the eligibility waiver from the NCAA to, hey, man, we need that. We need that. What's the answer there to?
Yeah.
This is a critical development. Is Darrell Jackson going to be a part of this fall's plans or not? Because then it will start to quickly look much like last year in terms of the depth, for the proven depth with the interior of the defensive line. This is the breaking news discussion of this particular topic. It's a signal that Florida State is a hell of a lot better as a roster, but if you want an expanded discussion of it, Seminole Headlines is on this channel. It is live shortly after the recording of this video. We will make sure the link of the expanded discussion is available before you sign off here. For Corey, I am Tom. Thank you for tuning in to Warchant TV. Not good news for Florida State, but hit a like button so more people find our breaking news and our coverage at warchant.com. Subscribe to the video, and we will talk to you on Warchant TV next time.